Hi, welcome to Yoga with Liza. This is week 10. I skipped a week because it was um, Labor Day and many people were on vacation or out of town. So I rested last weekend and worked in my yard and broke my chainsaw. The chainsaw is now fixed. You know, the tree limbs that have fallen. So tonight for our plant medicine piece, I'm holding my cup of tea, and this came to me as an inspiration. And so this is I have lavender buds in one of these little tea balls, and I have a rose tea and passion flower, and then I put in some lemon slices. And so it's just a very light, fresh drink. Um, and I'm going to put this lid on because Miss Luna will be joining us at some point. She's now rummaging in the closet, seeing what she can find. Um, so roses have the highest vibration in the plant family. And if you're signing on, if you make a comment and say hello, then I know that you're there. If you're just, you know, scrolling through, then even just say hi. So again, that I know that you're there. So we have rose, which is the highest vibration in the plant family, helps us with healing and to raise our vibrations up. The lavender is just good generic antifungal, antibacterial, antiparasitic. These are the flowers, medicinal, food grade, and then a passion flower tea bag. And they all have different uplifting qualities. I thought they made a great red punch, and that would be the most awesome thing. So today is Grandparents' Day in the United States, and I'm here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Um, in the United States, I know there are some people from India and England who check in from time to time on the posts. So the most wonderful thing, I got to hold my youngest grandbaby yesterday. He's 8 weeks old for the first time, um, waiting for his immune system to build up. And so, what a blessing for Grandparents' Day weekend. And so, that was beautiful. I'm so glad you're there, Cindy. And I know Ethel's signing in. And there may be a few other people who come in tonight and say, welcome, welcome. I am going to say a quick hello to Connor, Henry, Wyatt, Ricky, Angelo. Um, okay, their cousin has another name that starts with a C. We'll do Nicholas, Harper, Braylon, and all of the kids in the neighborhood and any other kids who are out there watching. And so when we do the kids program, starting out, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, and this goes for the grown ups too. No less than the trees and the stars. And I have on the side here Kausala, Kausala. This was an old, remember before Facebook and we used to send out email chain letters. This is an old email chain letter that somebody had sent to me. And so, and the final line there may be too faded for me to read. But kids, we had some sunshine today. Let's do our sun pose. And then from our sun pose, bring our hands together, arch over, and do crescent moon. And then come back through center and crescent moon on the other side. And then inhale back together. Step wide, feel our star pose. So we're connecting with all of the elements in nature. Bringing our heels in, let's come into cloud. Some people call this goddess pose, but in my yoga books, this is the cloud pose. And then as we come back to center, let's bring our feet in together and come into tree. So we're going to pick up our left heel, bring the knee to the right. Okay, right heel, weight is on the left foot. Come into our tree. Breathing into it. And bring that right foot down, shift over, pick up the left knee, and come into our tree and pick up our arms. And isn't this wonderful? Maybe that knee comes up higher. Maybe this is right where you are. And then bring the arms out in a T. Bring that back foot behind. Gentle reach. Breathing into it. Soaring eagle. And bring that right foot back down. Bring our left foot out. And may the eagles fly. Whether it's the football team or the natural eagles, and bring that foot back to center. And then from our eagle, let's come down and do our ladybug. Wide leg squat is our ladybug. Breathing into it. And then bring our knees to the mat, bring our toes to the mat. Legs come wide apart, bring the fingers back around. Stick out our tongue, lion's breath, roar. And again, lion's breath, roar. And coming back to center as we come into tabletop. And then look up to the ceiling for our cow. Tuck our tailbone back under and come into cat. Plant the toes, pick up the knees, come back into our dog. Breathing into it. Gently walk our feet all the way through and come into a seated position. Pick up our feet and feel our boat. Maybe we row our boat down the stream, and you can keep your toes in the mat if you wish. There's a song about rowing our boat, isn't there? You can sing that to yourself at home. Breathing into it. Bring our feet to the mat. Bring our knees in. Give ourselves a hug. Breath. Inhale back up. Gently bring our feet out wide. Gently walk our feet down into the middle. Release, forward folds, breath. Inhale, roll back up. Bringing both of the feet in together. So grown-ups will know this as cobbler pose, or maybe you call it butterfly, and let our wings of our knees go up and down, and maybe we make wings out of our arms, and the butterfly can fly away. The butterfly is such a unique animal because it transitions from the caterpillar into the butterfly, completely changes its shape, bringing the knees in. And again, give ourselves a hug. And maybe we roll down for a bridge so that boat can roll underneath the bridge. Bring our feet down, hands to the mat, push up into the air, breathing into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring our feet back down. Bring our knees into our chest. Maybe you rock and roll up. Maybe you roll onto the side. Coming into easy cross leg. Bringing our hands into heart center. So transitioning from the children's practice to the adult practice, let's all join in a great big Om. So as we inhale, I'm going to bring my arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing the arms out and around, coming into Om. So great big inhale up. Bringing our hands to our knees, closing our eyes, and kids, you are welcome to stay. You're welcome to go up to bed. Breathing into it, whatever your mommy and daddy say you need to do. Bringing our palms up. Connecting to the world around us. Bringing our hands into heart center. And my routine is to say, think of 3 things that you're grateful for. In addition to what you're grateful for today, think of 3 things that bring you joy. And whether or not you did them today is okay. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. So if it brought you joy, if it's something that brings you joy, breathe into it. And if you didn't get a chance to do it today, maybe it's something you can work in for tomorrow. Simple things, your favorite coffee creamer, the little things that bring you joy. Breathing into it. And then I'm going to bring the world in. And we're going to send prayers to the world. On here, I have my little mini globe. This is my myrrh with my frankincense and myrrh. So myrrh is a little brown resin. Frankincense is a white resin. And you can see this is my little globe. that I use to send out positive energy to the world. Tonight I have a live candle back. The batteries went out, the battery operated candle, and I brought in some stars in these little lights in the bottles. I thought I would bring the stars inside with us tonight. As we send love, if you're a Reiki practitioner, maybe you connect with the Reiki symbols. And as you connect with the Reiki symbols, shining out to the world, bringing the world back into the light of the candle, setting our intention. And so I often quote the Farmer's Almanac when it comes to the sun and the stars and the moon and the plants and the seasons. And so tonight I'm sharing the new Farmer's Almanac for 2021 because this goes into the winter time. And so for our area in Pennsylvania, the description for our winter is sheets of sleet. So, which tells me lots of ice, and the electrical lines don't necessarily like that. So, also a very interesting article in here about why we have seasons. And so that's all I'm going to share about that tonight. And so Sunday nights, I've been doing a gentle restore. For me, it's just a very calming, relaxing way to come into the week. And so let's come into child's pose. Now, maybe you have bolsters or blankets, maybe you don't. All of these poses can be done with or without props as it seems fit for you. So, gently, I'm going to get my props here. I have these two little green bolsters that I really enjoy working with. If you don't have those, you can take blankets and fold them and make them like bolsters, or you can do the poses without them. And so, wide like child's pose with the bolster, you can bring the toes together, the knees wide, and gently bring your stomach down onto the bolster. And maybe that feels right for you. Maybe what feels right for you is coming all the way down onto the mat and gently bringing the forehead down and coming into a wide like child's pose. And we're going to hold this pose just for a few minutes, a minute to 5 minutes. I think I'm going to average about 3 minutes a pose tonight, maybe less for some of the transition poses. And then from child's pose, gently walk ourselves up and coming into Supta Baddha Konasana or Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana, without the props, you would bring your feet together, gently roll down on the mat, bring your hands over top, palm to elbow, palm to elbow. The way that I'm gently using the props today, I'm going to put the blocks here up against my wall and gently put the bolster, bring the back of my hips up against the bolster, gently bringing it down, and you can bring the blankets on either side if you have them, however it works for you. And this is a pose I could stay in all night, but we won't. And again, gently coming up. And as we bring our legs wide, taking our hands, our bolster again back in front, and maybe using those bolsters, and a gentle forward fold. And you can again do that forward fold with or without the bolsters. And then from here, gently walk our hands up. Little gentle movement here. Gently bring our belly to the right leg. And again, you could put the bolster on top if you want. Just feel this gentle stretch. And bring the right arm to the inside, gently looking up to the ceiling. Side body stretch. Gently inhale up. Bring the belly to the thighs. Gently walk down. Bringing the hands to the inside, gently reach up and over. Walk back through center. Bend our knees, bringing them in. And let the knees come into the center wide. And maybe we roll down onto the mat here, coming all the way down, gently rolling down. And then let the knees come in together, the arms come out in a T. Gently let the knees come over to the right. Bring the knees back to center. Gently let the knees come over to the left as we look to the right. Inhale back through center. Heel toe the feet in. Gently roll over onto the right side. Coming all the way back into tabletop. Fingers come wide. Inhale up, cow. Exhale, tuck that tailbone back under, come into cat. And cow. And cat. So moving the spine balances the fluid in the spine, which is the spine is a series of joints. And so the synovial fluid of the joint of the spine is also connected up with the brain. And so as we move a joint, we balance and create healthy synovial fluid in that joint. And so as we do our cat-cow, we're working our spine, but we're also working and balancing the fluid around our brain. Coming back to center, take that right foot and bring it straight back. Bring the toe on the mat, release out the toe. Push back, breathing into it. So I did paperwork this afternoon and it was such a beautiful day, but that's what I did. Breathing into it. Bringing that right foot back, take that left foot back behind, push back through the heel, release out the back of the heel, breathing into it. Bring that left heel in. This time bring that right foot out in front. Bring the hands to either side. If you have your blocks, you can use your blocks, not required. Pick up that back knee, feel this big stretch. Low lunge. Exhale, come down. Bring that right foot back behind. Bring the left foot out in front. And gently come back into low lunge. And I'm just double checking here because I know sometimes if I have sound difficulties or technical difficulties, um, people will text me to say, hey, you need to do this or that. And then gently bring that right foot down. Bring that left foot back around. Coming back and bring our forearms to the mat. One great big strength core pose of dolphin plank. Option to come flat onto the mat. And if you want to hold your dolphin plank for another minute, feel free. We're coming into Sphinx. Now, maybe you put your arms up over the bolster. Maybe you're holding with your elbows straight down into the mat, shoulders back and down. Breathing into it. Great big lion's breath roar. Stick out our tongue and roar. One more time, lion's breath roar. Bring it all the way up and out from the gut. Lion's breath roar. Letting go of all that stuff that no longer serves us. One more time, inhaling and great big lion's breath roar. Exhale. Push back into tabletop and do cat-cow. Or push all the way back into child's pose, or maybe you come up downward dog. Whatever feels right for you tonight. Step, walk, coming all the way through, all the way down onto the mat. Now coming into bridge, and maybe you use a block or a blanket or the bolster, whatever works for you in bringing yourself, bring the feet to the mat, inhale up. I like putting the block right along my tailbone and gently bring my palms down to the mat, and I'm going to hold this restorative bridge for 2 to 3 minutes. So option, if you're building strength, you can bring yourself up off of the block and hold a muscular bridge for that 2 or 3 minutes. Or maybe you want to rest in the restorative form. Your option, how intense you make your practice tonight. Gently bringing our spine back to the mat, wherever it is. Take our right leg, bring it up in the air. Gentle circles one way. Gentle circles back around the other way. Cross that right foot onto the left thigh. Bring our hands back behind. Breathing into it. Bring that left foot to the mat. Bring the right knee into our chest. Straighten the left leg out on the mat. Maybe you bring the bolster over. Maybe you do this without the bolster and you can straighten your right leg over to the left. Honor yourself at your edge. And this is where my big heavy sandbag is on the other side. But you could put a sandbag on that leg if you have it. Not required. Those are my eye pillows. They're not my sandbags, but they improvise. Gently come back through center. Bring the feet in, bring the bolster or your blanket over to the other side. Inhale up and bridge, feel the reset. Exhale, roll down. Bring that left foot up to the ceiling. Gentle circles one way. Gentle circles back around the other way. Gently cross that left leg onto the right thigh. Bringing our feet up. Hands come back behind the thighs. Breathing into it. Feel our incumbent pigeon. Gently bring that left knee into the chest. Bring the right leg straight out onto the mat. Let it melt down. Bring that left leg over to the right. Bring the arms out in a T. Maybe you look back to the left. Breathing into it. Gently come back through center. Bend our knees. Inhale up. Exhale, roll down. Bringing our legs into legs up the wall. And I happen to have this handy wall right here. But maybe where you are, there's no wall. So you can put your legs up on a chair or a sofa. Instead of going up the wall, you can bring your feet this way into a chair. And that would work just fine. So with I'm going to bring my legs all the way up the wall and gently come around and bring my hip up to the wall as close as it'll come. So my legs are going straight up the wall. And because I have hair clips, I use the pads under my head. You can put a pad under your head if that works for your neck. Maybe you wish to be flat on the mat. And again, just gently melt into the mat. And this is Luna. She's late tonight. She came in earlier. So then from legs up the wall, gently pushing back onto the mat. Coming into Savasana, the final pose of rest. And maybe you choose to use the bolster. I like to put the bolster under my legs. You can use the pillow and imagine a gentle healing light coming through your body. White light, pink light, green light, whatever color resonates with you for healing. And as that light comes through your body, feeling every muscle relax and melt into the neck. Gently wiggling our fingers and toes, waking ourselves back up, stretching the arms back overhead, bringing our knees into our chest, giving ourselves a hug, gently rolling over onto the right side. Unless you have your kitty cat sitting next to you or your puppy dog, don't roll on top of them. And then gently bringing ourselves up into easy cross leg. Bringing our hands to heart center. Hoping tonight's class helped bring you joy. May the light within me salute the light within you. And when we are at this place, we are all the same. Namaste. Be happy, safe, and healthy until we meet again. I don't think there's any holidays next week, so my intention is for Sunday night. If not Sunday night, Monday night. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Let me know if you're here. Good night.